Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today, hopefully we're going into the very last episode of the upgrade of the roof here in the backyard of Villa Feliz. Actually on the back porch. The decor people are supposed to be in today, and they're supposed to be doing some tidying up, doing the flashing, which I'll show you that got delivered yesterday. And hopefully we can call this project closed, other than some minor painting and some touch-up of the areas that needed to be done prior to the install of the roof. Well, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. So I decided this morning to go ahead and make the job easy for the decor people when they come. I put a ladder back over here, and I put an extension ladder on this side, and the flashing goes up. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the flashing over here. So to make the top of the roofing waterproof against the side of the house, this is the flashing that we're going to use. Now Decor sells a couple of different types of flashing, actually about 3 different types of side flashing, and this is the square. It's just a squared off flashing right here. You see there's no cutouts. So this side right here, this would go up against the wall, then it comes down and drops down over the roofing. And normally, if you're doing something with the type of tile that we have, what we selected here, you would do something like this right here. So this would go over each one of the little humps of the tile, the design of the tile. Well, this was actually cut out by one of the technicians as a template, so he could get an idea of being able to do that if they wanted to do this. Now, the decor rep came yesterday and asked me, did I still want all of this done like that? They can either put it flat like here, or they can do the cutouts like this. Well, I really wanted the cutouts, so he said it wouldn't be any problem, so that's what they're going to do today. They're going to accommodate that. So they will be cutting out each one of these, and there's quite a few because it's going to span the entire roof line where the wall meets the roof tiles. So that's what they're going to be doing today. They're going to put this flashing on, again, to waterproof. And what they're going to do some tidying up. You see, a lot of the tiles are just still sticking out and they haven't screwed it yet. The fascia here, the fascia portion over there as well. Now what I did, something that I did over the last couple days in anticipation, I did a little bit of cleanup. If you remember, there was a lot of mold and mildew from the fall of the water on the back. So I cleaned a lot of that up, so it looks a lot better right now. And I'll get some touch-up paint later on, like I said in the intro this morning. I'll do some white touch-up paint and try to match some spots on there with the existing house color. Do my best to try to mix it. We'll see how that works later on. I'll see what my painting skills are. Now, while we're waiting on the decor team to show up, I just want to show you a few of the things, because a lot of you follow me with some of the fruits and vegetables that we're growing here in the backyard of Villa Feliz. And things are starting to go crazy in the backyard. I think it's because we're starting to get into the warmer months. We have longer days with more sun, and things are just starting to perk up. So I want you to see some of the things that are perking up in the backyard. So first off, right over here by the porch where we're doing the work, this calamansi tree, you can see we are starting to get all kind of new blossoms. And this calamansi tree has always really produced lots and lots of calamansi. So much that is enough just for Ness and myself here. We get plenty off of this one. So this is the calamansi tree. Let me show you some of the other plants back here. Now let's take a quick stop at our cashew tree. Do you remember when I showed you the cashews starting to grow? Well, they're starting to grow and I'm starting to notice some other cashews growing on the tree as well. We're getting an abundance of cashews on this tree, and I think this is only either year 2 or year 3 for this cashew tree. It's a very manageable tree, doesn't grow huge right now so far, and it's yielding so many cashews over here. It's incredible. And if you have talked with, or if you've ever spoken with anybody who has a cashew tree, or if you have one, you know the wonderful fragrance, the fragrance that you get from the cashew. I love walking over here by this tree. Now I want to go over here and I want to show you something. Remember the Jurassic Park lemon tree that we have over here? I want you to see what it is doing. This is insane. I want you to see. You see all the lemons on this one right here, and they're kind of ugly. They're ugly, but in a way they're beautiful by being ugly. And this is, look at this guy right here, almost like the one we picked. And it's yielding all the way around. It has never yielded this many lemons before. And this is only, I think this is year 2. I think this is year 2 on this lemon tree here. Look at all these lemons here. And our chili peppers, look, there are just so many here. We can't eat all these. Most of them are falling to the ground. They're getting red and ripe and dropping. Now, our contractor, Edwin, who's doing our roof, he dropped off a pot here of peppers. And these are the peppers that are used in synagogue. And yesterday what I did, I cleaned up this section of the raised bed garden and I planted new chili peppers over here. So they're doing well as well. And over here, you see, these are the papaya. Now these are the papaya, and I believe this is called the imperial papaya. And this was given to me, the seeds were given to me from one of our residents here in the subdivision. His name is Charles, and he's really big into his little agriculture. As a matter of fact, he purchased a separate lot next to his to do nothing but growing. It's his little farm. Now back here, I want to show you what's going on. Of course, these are the peppers I was just telling you about right here. We still have lots of the peppercorn. You can see the peppercorn. Look at all the peppercorn growing over here. Lots of peppercorn. I don't know how long it takes. I'm gonna have to look up. This is my first crop of peppercorn. And sitao, the sitao, every day I pull in about a dozen of this sitao. These are the long green beans. Some people call them pole beans, but here they're called sitao. And everything I've been getting off of this is from one plant. I only have one plant over here. I made the mistake last year of planting, maybe about 6 or 8 of them, and it was just way too much for Ness and I. So one plant yields enough for us for probably every other day to eat green beans if we so desire. Now this is our apple guava. We are producing, this is the most apple guava this tree has ever produced. It's always produced. Remember, if you remember our earlier videos, this tree, I had to cut off all the apple guava to be able to get this to grow properly so that it would yield better later on. So I decided now we're not going to do so much aggressive trimming or pruning like we did before. And you can see it's yielding apple guava everywhere on this tree. Oh, and we have to, of course, the Michelle pineapple. Remember the Michelle pineapple. Remember Michelle from Roy and Michelle's at the Gabi Sari store inside the barangay. Also, there's another one right over there. Now, we just cut down a really big banana plant that was right in this area here. And that banana plant produced these bananas you see right here. And I got them sitting out here. They're rather small, and the reason they're rather small and we didn't let them grow any bigger is because the weight from the bananas actually broke the little stem that feeds the banana plant itself, or the banana fruit, and we had to get it off of there. So I hope we'll be able to salvage those and eat those as well. And our first shout outs are belated birthday shout outs for March 23rd. We haven't been online for the last few days, so we're a little bit behind on these, but better late than never. And our first and second shout out, actually our belated birthday shout outs for March 23rd. And the first shout out is for the son of Harley Ardimato. And Harley's son's name is Kevin, and he turned 29 on the 23rd of March. Anyway, the family live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And our second birthday shout out, which is belated for the second day on March 23rd, is
for Steve Tash, March 23rd too, and he comes from San Diego, California.
And our next birthday shout out is from a very proud Lola, or in the US we call it Grandma. Anyway, from Lucy Baya. She has 2 children, one that has a belated for the 24th.
24th,
And
yes.
that is
Elena, who turned 7.
turned 7 on the 24th. And for her grandson, Tokyo, not spelled like Tokyo, Japan, but T-O-K-I-O, I believe, right? T-O-K, I hope we pronounced that right.
Yes.
And he did the big first year birthday. So anyway, to all of our birthday recipients, we want to wish all of you a happy birthday. And our last shout out today is an anniversary shout out for May 25th. And it goes to William and Malin Forsythe. And we heard that they are looking for property right here in Lifa. So anyway, to William
Wonderful.
and to Malin, we want to wish you a happy anniversary. Okay, well, our Decra team has arrived. And when I say Decra team, I think it's just one guy right now. I don't know if he's going to be working by himself or if he's going to have somebody meeting up with him. It's going to be kind of tough, but I guess you could do flashing and what needs to be done with one person. But we'll see. We'll follow along with what's going on. Now, I will tell you, while we were waiting, we had the Buko team come. And the Buko team is actually several people. When I say Buko, I mean Coconut. The Coconut team came earlier, and I'm going to show you some video footage at the end of today's episode with the drone, with them dropping coconuts, Buko, from the top of our coconut tree in the front of our yard, which is really high. And maybe we have some dramatic video. I don't know. We'll see when we get to that point. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and watch these guys do their install. So he's doing the marking, getting all the center marks for each one of the cutouts. Oh, he's better at cutting out than I am. I could never cut that well. I guess a special tin cutting tool that's kind of angled. I don't think you'll notice much of a difference from the factory molded or the way it's being done here manually. As I told you earlier, I was going to show you some drone footage from us cutting some of the coconuts down from the coconut tree. Well, I won't say us, that we hire the professionals that come inside. And the team that we have that did the cutting today, they use extension. They take bamboo and they slide one piece of bamboo inside another. Another is like an extension pole without having to use the damaging cleats that some of the coconut pickers do, where they dig it's sort of like climbing electric poles in the US when they used to have the old wooden poles, but it does damage. But these guys don't do that. So Ness and I, we're watching this for the first time, so we'll comment as they're doing the picking of the coconuts. So anyway, what you see right here is that pole that I was just telling you about, and it's probably about 4 or 5 sections long, and it has like a bolo, very sharp bolo knife at the very top of it. And they cut. You can see. Oh, you can see them all down. Now, what I did, I put a bunch of boards and stuff. Well, they kind of moved a few of my boards from where I had it, so we don't do any damage to any of our landscape architecture that we have down there. Some little houses, little concrete houses, and we don't want to break any of the pebble rock on our coping. But they kind of move it around, but luckily everything they're really precise. They know where everything's going to fall. And we've never, over the last 3 years of them cutting, we've never had any problems.
Yeah.
So you can see it. Look, you can see them cutting there. That's pretty high up.
Yeah.
That's really high up. I don't know if I were underneath there cutting it.
It shakes the earth.
It shakes the earth when those coconuts hit the ground. But if I were underneath there cutting, as clumsy as I am, I fall on a 3-step step ladder around here, so I would have one hitting me right on the top of my head.
Yeah, you have 9 lives.
I have how many lives do I have left?
One, maybe.
So again, what I did was I went up to the top, and this is looking at the coconuts in the very top of the tree. So there's a few left, but they said they weren't quite ready to be cut down. Now that was them cutting down the coconut. So what normally is done with the coconut, they harvest the coconut.
And we got some buko. So
yeah. Well, what I was getting to was they harvest some and they give some to the residents because it's our coconut tree. But some of it's used for selling. They use it for selling, and its contributions, I think, they go into the homeowners association to help you with your bill, offset some of your bills here with the HOA. But how many coconuts did we get today? 8, right? 8.
Yeah, 8 buko.
8 buko. We figured 2 a day for about 4 days.
2 a day.
So they'll still be good. And what we'll do is probably tomorrow we'll chop off the top of a couple of them.
Have you learned how to cut now?
I do. Yeah, I think I can do
wonderful.
it. I think if I
without cutting
my fingers off.
You only have one life left.
I only have one life. Yeah. So maybe tomorrow we'll open one up, and then we'll drink some of the buko juice that's inside. And then we'll cut out the buko and maybe make a buko salad or maybe a shake. We usually make buko shakes in the mixer in the blender.
Shake.
Oh yeah.
It's about time.
Okay, it's getting to the end of the day. Our Decker guy is done, and I have to show you. I have to show you some of the excellent work. The worker who did this from the Decker team, what he did, and you can see some of the little details. The way they do here, they cover up each one of the screw holes. Remember, they were all black screws, and when you look at it from a distance, you don't even see these. They blend in so well. But what I want to show you is the flashing. You see the flashing up here. Now the flashing didn't go to the very top. It was about this far away from the top. But what they do is they mix up this compound that's the same epoxy asphalt compound as you see on the roofing itself, and it blends seamlessly with the very top of the wall, so it's nice and clean. What I'll do is I'll do a quick drone shot. You'll see it from the drone. All right, well, that is it for our 6-day project here with putting a roof in. I am really happy with the roof. It was pretty much put together by 2 teams. It was our contractor, Edwin Reyes, and he has a contracting and general contracting shop in Lipa City, and we will leave information inside the description block today if you're looking for something like this and you're interested in getting a quote from Edwin. And it's also from the Dekra people, the fine people at Dekra.
For the roofing.
They always do outstanding work here. They did an outstanding work on our original roof. They did an outstanding job on this. Now, one thing I need to mention is I know people are going to come up with cost. How much did this project cost you? I have an estimate. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you about the price. Well, I'll give you the price that we were charged, or we were charged for the project, our proposal, our quote, and I will tell you some of the breakdown of some of the materials. Well, let me go ahead and open up the laptop because I did some price quoting today. Let me see if I can find this on here. Hold on just a second. So the total project came down to around, it was about 144,000 pesos. And a lot of people are going to be shocked. Oh, that's a lot of money for such a small roof.
Yeah.
Well, it is a lot of money for a small roof if you use standard materials.
Yeah.
What cost us the most, what jacked up the price for this project right here, was the cost of the high quality materials that we went. A lot of times
Yeah.
people will build roofing.
Decra is so expensive.
Decra is very expensive, and an example will be is each one of the Decra tiles that we used for here, the Decra Milano tiles, were over 600 pesos each. I think they were somewhere around 660 pesos. So the cost for just the tiles alone, and I'll kind of break this down a little bit. The tiles were around right around 27,000 pesos just for the material, for the Decra tiles, and that doesn't include the flashing, that doesn't include the barrels, that doesn't include all the other materials from the Decra company. The PVC liners that we used here, it was about 7,200, right around 7,200 pesos for the PVC liner that we used. So the total cost for the Decra was just under 50,000 pesos is what we paid. So that's equivalent to about $1,000 but it's very high quality material, and it's something that matches the roof. And it looks like, you could see the whole house looks
to match.
It looks like that was made with the original build of the house, but it wasn't, as you saw. And then there are other things to take into consideration. You have to talk about ironworks. Now, our ironworks was also around approximately a little bit less than 50,000 pesos as well. And it had to do with the C-purlins, the steel, the mild steel C-channel, and that doesn't even include the labor. So when you're talking about all the material, that portion of material, the ironworks and the roofing, the Decra roofing, that's almost 100,000 pesos right there, just in materials.
Yeah.
And then you have to add paint, you have to add lighting, the lighting that we put inside here, and the labor. Of course, the labor is where you get the biggest break inside the Philippines. So altogether, again, it came out to about 144,000 pesos. You can get roofs like this done for 50,000. Well, not like this, not with this material. Something of this style right here, and if you only use like angle bar instead of C-channel like we used inside here. If you wanted to save, you could use less expensive materials, less quality materials, and you could probably build something like this for maybe a third of the cost. You could move yourself up to about half of the cost if you did higher quality, but we went high quality on everything on this build right here. So anyway, that was the total price, about 144,000, and for 144,000, which is equivalent to about 3,000 US dollars, maybe a little bit less at the exchange rate today.
It's a lot of money.
About 3,000, but for what we have here, this extension to our house, it's well worth the investment that we have. It's what we should have done at the very beginning.
This is our new hangout.
This is our new hangout. It's our new hangout. We get the shade now. We have a little bit of protection from the rain as long as the rain isn't blowing from the north to the south.
We move around the house for a hangout.
Yeah. So I hope I was able to capture also a nighttime picture video. I'll try to do that with the drone. It'll either be added or it won't be added, and that'll have to do with our post-editing tonight. What I want to do is show you what it looks like with those nice warm lights that we use. We use the warm white for mood around here, and I'll try to turn those on tonight, capture some of that with the drone, and then
dramatic.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can catch it. I don't know. And then that's dependent on if we have no wind and we have enough light. I'll try to mess around.
Dramatic and romantic.
Yeah, that's right. I will. Yeah, I will try to mess around with the settings on the drone camera so that we can capture the light, because it'll be a low light situation. We'll see. well, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this whole series, the 6 episodes of doing this roof. I tell you, it's one of our better investments for enhancing Villa Feliz here. The pool was one, the basement was one, this was one right here. The sunroom was one, wasn't part of the original plan. All of these enhancements that we did, they're making us more and more like a really nice place to call our retirement home, right? Yeah.
Resort retirement.
Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this series of the roof build episodes. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, you can subscribe by clicking on Little My PI Dream Heart in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified if you click on a notification bell the next time we upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day.
Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.